What if you need more than 2D plates? What if you need more flexibility to move within the scene? What if your scene takes place underwater? Then you'll need to create 3D assets, potentially using real-time game engines. In that case, where do you start? In this case, you'll need to utilize a real-time 3D game engine to design a virtual space. You could take a piece of concept art and model it in a 3D app, or you could source a pre-existing model to use as a starting point. If you're starting at square one, you may be able to utilize photogrammetry. This is a method in which textured 3D geometry is created based on the analysis of multiple 2D images taken from different viewpoints. It starts with a photograph. Actually, lots of photographs. We take a series of high-quality still photos to capture the subject or environment from all angles, and using a modeling technique based on machine learning, we can produce a highly realistic 3D model.
Photogrammetry is a technique that creates 3D models based on 2D pictures. That means you have an object in front of you, you go around it taking a multitude of pictures, you identify the position of those cameras, and through computer processing, you create a digital asset.
When you're shooting still photos for this purpose, you'll want to make sure that all of them are well exposed, avoiding hard shadows so that you don't limit your option to relight the scene virtually later on. Focus and framing should be precise, without anything unnecessary in the frame. The computer is going to analyze each of these images to look for areas of overlap and use that data to recreate the 3D version. You could also enhance this imagery with a LiDAR scan. LiDAR stands for Light Imaging Detection and Ranging. It's a surveying method that measures distance to a target by illuminating it with a laser light and measuring the reflected light with a sensor. That data can then be used to make digital 3D representations of the target. This is particularly helpful when you have a vast landscape or a significant amount of detail that needs to be reproduced. It probably goes without saying that capturing and creating virtual production assets can be a fairly involved process. If you don't have that kind of time, then there are still solutions available. There are marketplaces online where some of the top vendors in this space are offering pre-made assets. Many artists have already realized that the demand for virtual production is growing, and they'll often create high-quality digital assets specifically to sell on these open marketplaces. Keep in mind that not every plate or digital asset available is going to work for your production. Note that when you're browsing through these sites, some of the options may also be created for use in video games, and those can be lower resolution. You'll want to narrow your search to high-res, photorealistic assets, and those will probably still need to be customized for your specific purposes. Once all the hard work of creating the virtual environment has been done, the good news is these types of sets can be saved and reused for future applications. Unlike a traditional set, there's no packing or physical storage space required if you want to save an asset for later. You don't have to worry about them getting scuffed up, rained on, or worn down over time. This can be a huge advantage if you're shooting something like an episodic series or franchise where you may need to shoot in the same environments over and over again. The amount of virtual production assets available to creatives is increasing as we speak. Maybe the next one will be yours.
Even in the writing process, we specifically generated scenes which in the past you will not be able to shoot. You can now shoot everywhere. You can even go to Mars, to New York, into the dystopian future. It will enable local filmmakers. The future of the technology lies in these markets.